So is anger ever justified or beneficial if it might result in, say, political action of some sort?
Yeah, political action. I'm going to correct the injustice of the world. Yeah, because I am right and they are wrong. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story that everybody else here has heard many times. When I was at UCLA during the Vietnam War, we were protesting one day, and there's a big grassy field. The cops were on one side, the protesters on the other. And, people were shouting things, and the cops were just with their helmets and their shields and the whole 9 yards. And then the person next to me picked up a brick or a rock and threw it at the cops. And I said, his mind is exactly like the mind of the people we are protesting. When you get angry, you may get angry over, injustice, but your anger is exaggerated. And it's going to lead to some kind of exaggerated behavior where it becomes me and them. Yeah, and whenever it's me and them, it's going to be me. It's not going to be them who wins. And if I'm going to win, then, either I bring out my voice to attack them or physically people attack. Yeah. So the trick is to be able to notice that things are unfair, or that things are discriminatory, or there's oppression, and without getting angry at the people who you are projecting as being the cause of this. There's many number of ways you could go in your meditation. What is the cause of this? I'm seeing a group they're taking away the votes. They're doing all this hokey pokey with the voting districts. And taking out the majority-minority voting things, rearranging it now right before an election so that it's advantageous for the Republicans. So you could see that that's going on and get really mad. Somebody else could see that that's going on and saying, yippee, my side is going to win. Both minds are afflicted, okay? If we can look at it, and if we hold a value, let's say, of, what this country was founded on, every person has a vote, and every person's happiness is equal, we should pay attention equally to the happiness of everybody, not just favoring some and disfavoring others. And you can see that, and then you say, okay, what can I do to remedy this problem? And then you have to really think creatively how can you contribute without getting so attached to my side's got to win and these other people are jerks and destroy them, because that's just going to create more and more us and them. And us and them leads to quarrels and wars and all that stuff. So you have to be really creative. And if you listen to His Holiness Dalai Lama's teachings, you can see that he manages to do that, to look at injustice, to look at suffering and pain, and not get angry. but with compassion for both the victim who's experiencing it and the perpetrator, having compassion equally for both parties in it, then wanting to work to eliminate the situation, because the person who's experiencing the pain now as the quote victim is having pain. The person who's the perpetrator is creating the karmic cause for pain. So both people are caught up in, pain. Yeah. And so what can I do? Not because, I see a friend and an enemy, but to have compassion for both parties and want to stop the situation somehow. Yeah. So that takes a lot of work in our mind. Yeah. Because we so easily, this side's right and that side's wrong. Yeah, the side that's wrong, throw the brick at them. They deserve it. That'll teach them. That way they'll stop. Yeah, if I attack, then they have to stop. Yeah, right. And then you get, Russia and Ukraine, you get the US and Iran, you get, every single war that's going on this planet. So, then when your mind's going, okay, what's the source of this? It's afflictions. Yeah, why is there all this pain? Because there's afflictions on the part of the person who's getting oppressed or beaten or whatever. Their afflictions created the karma that is ripening in them and experiencing the pain. From the part of the person who's perpetrating the pain, their afflictions are making them do that. So what is the real guilty party? It's not any of the actors, it's the afflictions. Yeah. And so what kind of attitude is an appropriate attitude for people who have afflictions? It's not judgment. It's not revenge. It's not blame. It's compassion. And then, as Geshe-la titled his book, engage compassion when you can not only feel it, but start doing things.